Soon, a jury of 8 men and 4 women will be handed the case after hearing from 34 witnesses and examining more than 1,000 pieces of evidence.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're breaking down the shocking revelations and occurrences from the 7th and final week of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trafficking trial. Warning, certain information contains distressing details.
They heard a voice note of him saying, "Hey, we're out of baby oil."
Special agent takes the stand.
The prosecution's final witness, a special agent with Homeland Security, returning to the stand.
Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Joseph Cerciello continued his testimony on the 28th day of Sean Combs' federal trial. He confirmed the existence of numerous explicit videos involving Combs, Jane, a pseudonymous accuser who dated Diddy from 2021 to 2024, and various other men.
They were known as freak-offs, hotel nights, or wild king nights, and there was one including just weeks before Combs' arrest there.
The jury viewed more than 12 minutes of these videos, which span dates from late 2021 through 2022, and were referenced in prosecution summary charts.
They're trying to show the sexual acts in the videos are the result of a coordinated criminal activity by Combs and multiple people who worked for him.
Cerciello also reviewed detailed records from multiple trips Jane took with Combs, including flights, hotel stays, and credit card transactions often funded by Combs' company Bad Boy Entertainment or staff. One September 2023 trip to New York included hotel bookings for Jane and an entertainer named Sly, with Jane receiving $5,000 from Combs' account manager.
He's giving us the text messages, the flight logs, the hotel reservations, and how they all connect in real time.
Additional messages and booking records from that period show Diddy coordinating logistics with his staff, inquiring about escorts through the company Cowboys for Angels, and organizing hotel stays.
Because to prosecutors, this is the case. It's the hotel invoices, the travel arrangements, the receipts for damages paid to the hotel rooms, the arranging of male escorts and booking them with Cowboys for Angels.
For a January 2023 hotel night in Los Angeles, Combs was seen arranging for 3 entertainers, sending Jane $15,000 and discussing plans for the evening. Records also show texts between Jane and Diddy ahead of an October 2023 sobriety party, with Jane expressing alleged emotional distress and reluctance to engage in the X-rated activities.
Now, Combs has denied running a criminal enterprise and has pleaded not guilty to charges in his racketeering and sex trafficking trial. He has said the relationships were consensual.
Cross-examination of Special Agent.
The day began with the defense finishing their cross-examination of the government's last witness, a Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent.
During cross-examination of Special Agent Joseph Cerciello, defense attorney Tenny Garagos reviewed a September 2023 invoice from Sean Diddy Combs' travel management company that listed flight expenses for Jane and the entertainer known as Sly, noting that the invoice identified Combs personally rather than one of his businesses.
And there was a moment, too, when the federal agent was asked about bank records that showed that even though one of Combs' business accounts paid for some of the freak-off supplies, that account was reimbursed by one of Combs' personal accounts.
Garagos questioned Cerciello about the scope of the prosecution's summary chart, which he confirmed primarily covered events before April 2023, when Combs began paying Jane's rent, and acknowledged there may have been additional interactions not included.
Jurors are really going to have to wrestle with the fact that he's paying her legal fees, he's paying her rent, present day, while she's pretty much testifying against him.
Garagos highlighted text messages omitted from the summary. In one exchange, Jane responded to a message from Combs about seeing him and entertainer Paul because she was aroused. She went on to describe desired X-rated acts involving both men.
Jane was a willing participant. She was the one in some cases who was arranging for the male escorts for these nights in hotels. She was the one that Sean Combs tasked to keep things secret from some of his employees.
Additional messages showed Jane sending explicit messages to entertainer Sly and expressing interest in seeing him. She sent sentiments of affection, including, quote, getting flashbacks, accompanied by a drooling emoji.
A prosecution witness went through hours of text messages, and the federal agent reading them out in deadpan, even some of the raunchier ones containing sexual instructions or desires and eggplant emojis and heart emojis, and it was pretty tough for the jury to stay awake.
The jury was shown more explicit videos by the defense, totaling over 5 minutes. Invoices paid from Combs's personal bank account to his travel management company were introduced, covering travel and accommodations for Jane and entertainers tied to hotel nights. The jury would also view an additional 6 minutes plus of explicit video footage of Jane from July to August 2024.
The jury has watched more than 40 minutes of explicit clips during the trial. They've seen flight records, text messages, and these photos from his Los Angeles home, which shows bottles and bottles of baby oil.
Rule 29 motion.
The prosecution rested. Defense attorneys moved for an automatic verdict of acquittal.
Defense attorney Alexandra Shapiro filed a Rule 29 motion for a judgment of acquittal on all counts against Sean Diddy Combs, arguing that the prosecution failed to meet its burden of proof.
As soon as the government rested its case, Sean Diddy Combs' legal team immediately jumped in, asking the judge to find Combs not guilty.
Specifically, she contended that the government did not establish a racketeering conspiracy involving Combs, noting that he allegedly concealed the nature of his sexual activities from his own employees, including former Chief of Staff Christina Coram. Shapiro further claimed that the evidence presented was insufficient to support the trafficking charges related to both Jane and Cassie Ventura. In response, prosecutor Christy Slavic maintained that the trial record provides more than enough basis to allow the case to proceed to the jury.
3 alleged victims, 7 former Combs employees, 4 hotel workers, 2 celebrities, and 2 male escorts.
The judge stated he would reserve his decision on the motion.
After about an hour of arguing, the judge asked the prosecution, do you have a response? Their response was probably less than 2 minutes. And what the judge said, well, I'm going to reserve it until the end of the case.
Diddy not testifying.
It was the first time, albeit without the jury in the room, that Sean Combs has spoken during his trial.
Outside the presence of the jury, the judge addressed Sean Diddy Combs regarding his decision not to testify in his own defense. When asked how he was feeling, Combs responded, quote, "I'm doing great, Your Honor," and took a moment to thank the judge, prompting a chuckle and appreciative response from the bench.
I'm doing great, Your Honor. I've been wanting to tell you thank you. You're doing an excellent job. This is the first time I've seen these words. A little unusual, I think, for a defendant to thank the judge.
The judge confirmed that Combs understood his right not to testify and that no negative inference could be drawn from that choice. Combs affirmed that it was his personal decision not to take the stand.
The burden does not exist with Sean Combs. He has a Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself, and you cannot use that against him. The judge will give that explanation to the jury, and they will begin to consider this case from the standpoint of, did the government prove their case?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. The defense rests.
After 28 days of graphic testimony from nearly 36 witnesses, both sides resting today in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial against Sean Diddy Combs.
As part of the defense's case, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney Ana Esteva read a series of text messages between Combs and Cassie Ventura into the record, which showed the two discussing plans for a freak-off in a seemingly positive tone.
Before the day ended, the defense read several exchanges of text messages between Ventura and Combs that expressed her love for him, even after years of what federal prosecutors argued was coerced sex with male escorts.
Defense attorney Tenny Garagos also presented a stipulation outlining statements or omissions made by witnesses during pretrial interviews. According to the stipulation, several key witnesses reportedly did not make certain claims during early meetings with law enforcement. For example, Dawn Richard did not initially report that Combs threatened her by saying people, quote, go missing if they speak out. Anonymous witness Mia did not say in her first 3 meetings that Combs initiated sexual contact with her. And Brianna Bongalin did not initially claim that Combs said he could, quote, kill her during a photo shoot. By the end of Tuesday, June 24th, the defense rested its case.
Sean Combs has maintained his innocence throughout, and his attorneys are resting the defense case without calling any witnesses, seemingly confident they've raised enough doubt among jurors that what they've heard for the last 7 weeks amounts to ex-girlfriends complaining about regretful sex.
Who do you think made the stronger case in Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial? The prosecution or the defense? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Our criminal justice system is based on being judged by a jury of your peers, not by a judge. And so the judge is going to probably forego making a decision on this case and allow the jury to decide and then move from there.